Hey there, welcome in. How is everyone? I'm Heather with Heather's Healing, and I'm here to take a look at the upcoming week, which is August 31st through September 6th. Can you believe it? September 2025. So let's go ahead and look at the overall energy this week. How do I want to do this? Maybe what to focus on this week, what to avoid, and advice and guidance. Let's do that. So this is going to be for all signs, looking at August 31st through September 6th, 2025. What do we need to know? What do we need to know about this upcoming week? Can't believe it's September. It's crazy. All right, so show me the overall energy this week. I almost said this month. I've been recording the September readings. So, all right. Overall energy this week for those watching. Four of Pentacles. Okay. Let's look at focus on this. Be mindful of this, and we'll do advice. So focus on what this week? Stop doing this or be mindful of this energy, and then we'll do advice and guidance. Interesting energy here. Okay. So we are in Virgo season, which is really nice. Four of Pentacles. So the overall energy this week, I'm going to say Four of Pentacles isn't a bad card, but it's keeping things kind of close to your chest. This is really, Pentacles is going to be more focused on money and resources. You might feel sometimes this card can bring up the energy of lack or feeling like you don't have enough. There can be a miserly energy that comes in with this, but what I'm really feeling about this card is not oversharing. Be mindful of what you share with others, even if it's resources, but I feel more communication wise. And I'm wondering if that's because I know Saturn is going to be retrograde in Pisces, I believe on September 1st. So there could be a focus on looking at spiritual foundations, your emotional resilience, that type of thing could be coming up. So there could be a risk of maybe oversharing, maybe gossiping, sharing something that you shouldn't have shared. So keep things kind of close to your vest this week. If you do need to have a tough conversation with somebody, the September 2nd, that's Tuesday. Tuesday would be a better day for that. Mercury is entering Virgo. So that will bring in a lot of clarity and communication. It's also a great day for organizing and planning. And we have the Knight of Pentacles coming in. So, and I asked the question, focus on what? Focus on, and this is kind of the energy of, this is a really nice Virgo card. This is focusing on taking care of tasks. It's slow and steady progress. It is staying very grounded. So this is great energy for organizing, clearing things up. But you're doing it very thoroughly. It's not you're not half-assing it. Don't half-ass it this week. If there's a project that you're working on, this is a great week to get things done. Especially if it's something tedious. So it's slow and steady. I love that. Slow and steady with the Knight of Pentacles. I asked the question, be mindful of this. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So, and it's under this Four of Pentacles. This could be a person in your life. It could also just be an energy, but I'm feeling that this is going to be a work-related person. So it could be a coworker. And that kind of brings me back to this Four of Pentacles. Just be very mindful of what you're sharing, especially what you are sharing at work. Queen of Pentacles, I do like that she is upright. This is someone that is reliable, resourceful. They have it together. But the question was, be mindful of what? Be mindful of this person. I'm also going to say, be mindful of, if this is you, if you are the person that's always kind of showing up as like, I've got it all together, and you really don't, and you need help, ask for help. Wanted to see what else was coming up astrologically that could be playing into this. Yeah, I'm really feeling with this, if this is you, ask for help. You don't have to pretend like you have all the answers if you don't. So if you are needing help, if you're feeling overwhelmed, be sure to ask for help this week. Be mindful of what you say at work. It could or in any kind of social circle, it could blow up. So just be careful, be mindful of that. Towards the end of the week, so September 6th, Uranus is retrograde. So that's going to be a great time to reflect on communication, how you communicate, mindset changes, that sort of thing. I like the Mercury is going to be in Virgo this week. That's going to be really nice. Again, that's on September 2nd. So communication will be very clear on that day. I don't know what this is with money. There is, and maybe it's just fear of not having enough money, or there's something else here, but I'm not quite getting it. But it is a week focused on resources, money, taking care of things, just the day-to-day kind of stuff. It feels pretty smooth, honestly. I like that we have the Pentacles here. We have a lot of earthy energy. I really like that. We have the Six of Wands coming in as the card for the advice card, which is really nice. This is victorious. People looking up to you. I think that that's another thing that's playing into this. You might not be aware of it, but people do look up to you, and people are watching. Be impeccable with your integrity. I mean, I feel like that's like good advice all the time. Be impeccable with your integrity. But I think it's going to be really easy for someone to misunderstand you this week. So don't leave things up for interpretation. If you say something or do something that you feel like someone else might interpret wrong, be very clear about making it known what your intention is, if that makes sense. Because there are a lot of people looking up to you. There are people that look to you for answers. I think that's why that was also coming up. If you don't have the answer, you don't know the answer, it's okay to say, I don't know. It's also good to, if you need help, to ask for help. But there are a lot of people that look up to you and see you as a role model. So, well, that's very positive. It can also put a lot of, pressure on you as well. So just be mindful of that. People are watching. I mean, people are always watching, right? Slow and steady. Be mindful. Great week again for organizing, taking on a tedious task. Keep your opinions to yourself this week. That could also probably get out of hand a little bit. Might not be a good time to borrow money to someone or lend money to someone this week. I feel that this is more regarding a family member that may not pay you back. I'll just say that if you borrow money to somebody, you might not get it back. Overall, a pretty smooth week. Malachite, I think, would be a great crystal to work with. I keep seeing that. Working with the emerald ray or the green ray would be really great. Lots of green coming in on these cards. But malachite would be a great crystal ally to work with, and green would be a great color ray to work with this week. All right, you guys, take great care of yourself. Just a reminder, September 13th, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I'm having an in-person spirit event. So if you are in Northern Utah and are interested, please check that out. It is a small gathering of people. If you've ever attended one of my online spirit sessions, it's the same format. We'll have a meditation. I'll do a reading for each person, and then I'll also have crystals available for purchase as well. All right, you guys, have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, going back to this, if you have a tedious task, do it before September 4th. Mars is going to be in Libra. Jupiter is going to be in Cancer. There could be a risk of not having a lot of motivation starting around September 4th. And if you have a tough conversation that you need to have, September 2nd would be the best. Communication is not going to be great. Well, communication could be a problem around September 4th. Emotions are going to be really high around that time as well. So I think that be very mindful of what you are saying and doing around September 4th, probably through the weekend as well. All right, you guys, see you later. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, going back to this, if you have a tedious task, do it before September 4th. Mars is going to be in Libra. Jupiter is going to be in Cancer. There could be a risk of not having a lot of motivation starting around September 4th. And if you have a tough conversation that you need to have, September 2nd would be the best. Communication is not going to be great. Well, communication could be a problem around September 4th. Emotions are going to be really high around that time as well. So I think that be very mindful of what you are saying and doing around September 4th, probably through the weekend as well. All right, you guys, see you later.